Hey everyone, welcome to the Bulk Crew podcast. It's Dave Ballet, Josh Ballet, Mario Heron. Again, here's the deal. We do have an opening. Some of you guys have heard it. It's cool as hell. We will have the opening playing as soon as all the paperwork's done and everything goes straight through. Long story, but we'll be back sooner than later. All right, this is going to be a shorter show. We got about 40 minutes to knock out this whole show. We're going to take your comments throughout the show as well. The draft is over. All right, we've moved forward. We kind of have an idea what our team is going to look like, talking Charger football, and what's your opinion? Josh is actually leaving for his honeymoon in 40 minutes. So that's why we got to get out of here in 40 minutes. I do have a rant for you at the end of the show. I got like 3 of them, but I'm not going to hit you with all 3. Just a lot of things that obviously irritate me. I think I'm a psycho is what it comes down to. A lot of things upset me a lot. So overall, here's the deal. I kind of want to start the show, guys, with something we spoke about in the last one. And we talked about the prank, the Shedeur Sanders prank. And there wasn't any of us, and all of us are smart asses, but none of us were like, hey, that was a great prank. That was really cool, right? None of us took that side at all. We actually thought it was all completely cruel, and it's a big moment. It's a moment you're waiting for your entire life. And then you have some punk kid wearing an Ole Miss jersey that sits there and kind of, ruins it a little bit. Overall, now that the punishment has come down, were you surprised? What did you think was going to happen?
Not enough, and it's never enough. I'm a guy that likes the harsh punishments. Maybe I'm just a jerk, but when I see that Ulbrich and his son, nothing really happens. $250,000 fine. Give me a joke. How much does he make a year? What's his salary? That's all they're going to get. Take away a draft pick.
It's $250,000 to the Falcons, $100,000 to him, right? To him personally.
Once again. Not that's nothing to him. Look at his salary. Take away a draft pick. It's the most effed up thing of all time. And then you find out as the time goes on, it wasn't just Shedeur Sanders. It was like everybody in the draft has come out and said, oh yeah, I got prank called too. Tyler Warren, Mason Graham, all these guys have come out and said, hey, I didn't make it public because I wasn't Shedeur Sanders. I got picked towards the beginning of the draft. But still, man, that's awful. And also, I got a little rant today too. Why do they call the guys before the pick? Call the guys after the pick. Let them enjoy it. Watch the TV, don't leave the room. You hear all these stories about guys taking calls in the basement. Why are you in the basement? Stay with your family.
I'm with you. It is kind of a funny thing to call them right before, hey, the biggest moment of your life is incoming. Why not just go, hey, wait for your name to get called, and then you kind of walk up. That's kind of a more fun option to go to. And how the hell in 2025 do we not have these phone numbers more secured? How is this not something that we have, laid down yet? That's the crazy thing to me. And also just imagine you going through trying to get your dream job and you think you got it. And then someone prank calls you and tells you that you got it. And you're like, oh my God, honey, go ahead, install the pool. And then it's just some, college kid hammered after drinking a Four Loko.
Okay, a couple things. One is Tyler Warren's call was crazy. He got the call, and then he thought that the Indianapolis Colts drafted him. I mean, that was wild, right? And then, sure enough, it was the Colts that drafted him. It wasn't a prank. That poor kid. I'm just kidding you, Mario. I know you're in Indianapolis. I was there's certain teams you wouldn't want to go to, but it's still the NFL.
I'm with you.
But
you get a call to go to Circle City, and you're like, oh, I don't have to go there. And then you're like, never mind, buddy. Hope you like St. Elmo's.
So I'm with Josh, though. The draft pick is how you hurt teams the most. It's never about money. Finding a billionaire $250,000, he's never going to miss that. But the draft pick hurts. And to say, hey, you know what? For every team that kid called, we're getting them. Somehow you're going to do something. And I know it's not fair to exactly punish the dad for what the kid did, but it was the dad that left the numbers out. Obviously, your kid wasn't mature enough to have those numbers around. I'll ask Josh. Josh, obviously, since Josh was a kid, I've had a million phone numbers around the house of people. I got Shaq's number on my phone. Josh, have you ever called anybody off my phone?
No.
Never. You know what? Because I knew he was mature enough not to do something stupid. Not going to sit there and do that kind of move. But at the same time, draft picks are the key. And the Shedeur Sanders thing is big. For me, draft pick wise, a 3rd round pick, man, hurts. A 3rd round pick would really freaking hurt. And guess what? It would never happen again from any NFL team. You're teaching every team basically, hey, we're going to be careful that we do it. By the way, I'm with you guys on this one. Why do they ever call the players ahead of time? Well, get the reaction straight out, not just going, hey, Mario, it's the LA Rams. We're going to be drafting you in about 2 minutes, buddy. You want to be a Ram? Here's Coach McVay. Like, just let them find out, just like we all find out. That's the way it works.
I agree. I think it's one of the craziest things of all time. If you were about to receive the best news in your life, would you want somebody to ruin it for you? Like if you have a surprise party, would you want somebody to walk in the house and be like, hey, there's a surprise party? Or would you want it to be a surprise party? It doesn't make any sense at all. I think it's the craziest thing ever. I almost got crucified. I got to bring this up because people are so upset with me. I did not give away a jersey last show. So I have it here. Mario, how do I share my screen? I just click present down here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm going to give away this jersey right now because you guys got upset I didn't do it last show. First off, I don't have to do anything. I'm just a nice guy. I'm giving away a jersey. So here we go. Share screen. Let me know if you guys can see it. I feel like I'm at work again. All right. Let me know if you see my screen. Can you see my screen? All right.
Dude, why is there porn on there? I'm kidding.
Jeez. So 4 people tied. Okay. They had 8 correct picks in the first round. I believe all of us got 7, right?
Yep.
Okay. They all had 8. Everybody royally screwed up picks 20 through 32. Everybody sucked. Nobody got it right, including myself. So we have 4 people that tied for 8 picks. I'm going to spin this wheel, and then one of these people is going to get a free Chargers jersey. Here we go.
Yes.
There we go. You're the winner. I'll reach out to you on X, and congratulations. There you go. So how do I stop sharing my screen? There we go. Stop sharing. Are we back?
We're back.
All right, we're back. There you go.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy. So far up. I've been wanted. I think that's your tag. I've been cheering for you since day one. I'm so freaking proud of you, man. Or she. Whichever way. I really love you, and I'm really happy for you.
What are you talking about?
No, I've been really pumped about it, Dave. You're the one like, I don't want them to win. I go, all right, that's up to you.
I have no idea of anything that happens on the show. I don't even know when we're live. You guys have to tell me half the time. That's funny as could be. That is good. All right. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. As soon as I logged off the show 2 days ago, I said, oh no, I didn't give Josh a chance to give anything away. So that was on me. But that was there you go. That was a good way to do it. Yeah, I know that the 3 people are super upset, but that's all right. That's just the way it went right there.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. What's going on? What else we got?
Come on, you're the driver, Dave. Let's go.
All right. I tell you what, I want to go through as far as we know the schedule is going to come out in a couple weeks here, right? And it's funny. It really is the only schedule where people get extremely fired up, right? Like there's schedule day. There's certain things the NFL does well, but it is important overall who the schedule is. And we look about weather and how many East Coast trips or how many times, let's say you're facing the Jets and the Patriots in the same year. And you're going, okay, it's terrible if it's back-to-back weeks. Like, are you flying back and forth coast to coast and you start figuring out anything that could be a possible excuse? Looking, guys, right now, and it changes every single year, looking at it right now, division-wise, give me the best division in football because I'm thinking right now it is the AFC West. I think it's back to the AFC West as the best division in football.
Yeah, I agree. If you would ask me the question last season, I would have said the NFC or the AFC North probably, or the NFC North. The NFC North is really good too. I think that's definitely up there for the best division. But I would say the AFC West is the best division just because the Raiders do have a shot at making the playoffs. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? No. But they definitely have a chance because their team is not terrible. I think the Broncos and Chargers could be interchangeable in a lot of people's predictions, and then the Chiefs, most people have as the best team in the division. We said this on the last show. I believe the Chargers are the best team in the AFC West, but from top to bottom, Mario, I do think it's the strongest division.
Remember when we said this? Was it 3 years ago now?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! With Russell Wilson, we had Derek Carr, Josh McDaniels, we had the Chiefs, and we had us. Then we just built this super team. Then what happened? McDaniels blows up in the face. Russell Wilson just says, I'm a high school quarterback. We have Brandon Staley, and everyone forgot how stupid he can be, and he's just numbnuts to the highest degree. And then suddenly we go from a division that's should be feared too. The Chiefs are pretty much going to handle this, but it is different now, right? Of all the coaches, we've said this a lot of times. They all have either been to a Super Bowl or won a Super Bowl. You have pretty good quarterback talent that's very, very young at Bo Nix, from Mahomes to Justin Herbert. And, you have a lot of talent across the board. I would say at almost every position on each team, you have someone that's the best at it, right? Like Brock Bowers is arguably the best tight end in football. Patrick Mahomes is arguably the best quarterback in football. Marion Hampton could be a top running back in this league and maybe could burst on the scene and be the best running back in all of the NFL. So it's extremely talented, and it's going to be a tough one to win. It's going to be up there, and I wouldn't be surprised, Dave, if there's 3, AFC West teams in the playoffs again.
Yeah, I think that's the way it shakes up, is that you will have 3 teams. I mean, as you said, you just mentioned the coaches. 3 of them have won Super Bowls. All of them have been in a Super Bowl. And, overall, they're all trending. I don't want to say the Chiefs are trending up, but the Chiefs aren't ever trending down. But all the other teams are trending up, right? The Chiefs, obviously are one of the best teams in football over the last 10 years and don't show too many signs of falling apart. We keep waiting for it, but it doesn't happen. And then the Broncos obviously getting better. The Chargers are getting better, and the Raiders are getting better. It's amazing how it changes year by year that quickly, right? How your opinion changes. I mean, as Mario said, we said this in 2022, and we're so sure of it. Some of the names that you just mentioned, Mario, it's only been a few years. Those guys are all long gone, right? I mean,
yeah,
like major changes of guys being long gone. And that's the way this league works. It's one of the things that makes this league great. Not if you're a player, but if you're a fan, it gives you hope that, hey, we stink right now, but we can be right back in this thing in a couple of years.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody would be surprised if the Broncos won the division or the Chargers won the division or Chiefs won the division. How could you be that surprised when all 3 teams made the playoffs last season? When you hear people say that Ashton Genty is the next coming of LaDainian Tomlinson, how can you count out a team that possibly has a top running back in the league and the top tight end? I just don't understand how you could do that. The Raiders are fixing their offensive line. Like I said, still the 4th best team in the division. But from top to bottom, I'm surprised Mario doesn't say the NFC North because of the Bears, obviously being a semi-Bears fan. But I do honestly think AFC West is the strongest. AFC North, a little bit overrated. Honestly, I think the AFC North is a little bit overrated.
I'm very curious in the AFC North how good this Bengals defense is going to be with the new DC coming in. And if, they can kind of put it together and not start off every season 0-3. But you make a good point, because the Steelers are just going to win 10 games, but they're not going to do anything. And who's your quarterback right now? You have the Browns that, well, they're bringing every quarterback in America. So if you want to play in the NFL and quarterback, just give them a call. They'll get you in the door. But then you have the Ravens, who just can't get over the hump, but obviously they'll be there in the second round of the playoffs at least. The NFC North, I'd love to say it, but I think a lot of teams are going to take a step back. Like I think the Lions, with missing both coordinators or losing both, they're going to take a little bit of a step back. Now that just might mean from 14 wins, you go to like 11 or 10, which is not like massive, but it's still a drawback. And I think Minnesota, Dave, is going to be a little bit weaker this year than we think, because this is JJ McCarthy's really rookie year. And how good is JJ? How can he handle the NFC North defenses and their environments? Those are all very hard places to play on top of a schedule that's probably not going to be too nice to them with the way things ended last year.
Yeah, well, just starting right there, the Vikings shocked me. I mean, Sam Darnold shocked me. What happened last year? Not expecting a lot from the Vikes. I mean, I look at, I thought the Bears, for me, I thought underachieved. I thought they were kind of set up to be a little bit better. They'll probably be a little bit better than what they were. The Packers, are solid, right? We expect Jordan Love and those guys to always be there. The Lions, agree, you lose your 2 coordinators. It's very tough to do, especially when your head coach isn't really a coordinator, he's more of a motivator. Kind of tough. But you have guys that are veterans on that team. You get Hutchinson back on defense. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a little bit better. Jared Goff's career, he's been a vet like 10 years now. He knows that, hey, I got to hurry up and get this done, because time switches really quick. Going back to what you guys were saying about the AFC North, yeah, it's the Ravens and the Bengals, right? The Steelers don't have anything right now. As of right now, here we are, May 1st, the Steelers don't have anything. The Browns, completely confusing of what's going on. I mean, I would like to see the Browns on Hard Knocks. I would love to see the quarterback room and how bizarre it is. And Joe Flacco's phone calls to his wife on the way home from the facility about, you wouldn't believe who I'm babysitting. Like, this is insane the way this room is going. Like, how did I end up here? You know, it is bizarre to think when Joe Flacco came in this league. I believe Joe Flacco came in the league the same year Matt Ryan came in the league. That was 2008 draft. To think he's been around this long, and all of a sudden you have Shador and you have Gabriel, and does Sean Watson even show up to anything? Does he have to? Like, what happens over there in Cleveland? What a disaster everything is.
That quarterback room, and then the New York Giants, right? Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Jackson Dart. I don't understand the whole how we're just going to have every quarterback mentality. How does that make you better? Isn't there a phrase, if you have more than one quarterback, you don't have any quarterbacks?
Exactly right.
Yeah,
that's what they are. Doesn't make any sense. The Chargers, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, but they pick up former Clemson, former Oregon State, former Florida State quarterback, DJU. If you guys forget, DJ coming out of high school was with Bryce Young, neck and neck, two guys from Southern California as the two top players in the nation, two top quarterbacks. Obviously did not pan out well for him at all. Chargers pick him up as an undrafted free agent. I think there's 0% chance he makes the team based off of what I've seen in college football. But it is interesting that the Chargers do have at this point Trey Lance, former top pick.
Another guy's underachieved.
Yeah, Trey Lance. Like, does Trey Lance and DJ just talk to each other? Like, where did this go wrong?
What happened to our career?
What went wrong, man?
Yeah.
Interesting quarterback room for the Chargers, though, too, right? You got Herbert, Heineke, DJ, and Trey Lance. So it's kind of funny.
I literally tell if I'm Harbaugh, I tell Herbert, stay away from those two guys. Whatever they've been doing is not working. Like, whatever they want to pick up, whatever they see, I don't want you ever talking to those two guys.
I gotta be honest, I love it because it makes the preseason games a lot more fun. Be like, dude, do you remember Trey Lance? Like, remember DJ?
Dude,
this guy lost me so much money at Florida State.
I just want to be there to listen to Tony Jefferson talk trash to Trey Lance of what happened in the Charger Cowboy game last year in preseason.
Tony made the team off of Trey Lance.
Yeah,
100%.
Seriously. He made the team off of that game against Trey Lance. Crazy.
Nice. There's been a lot of discussion, if you will, about which receivers on this Chargers roster are going to make the team. So typically an NFL team carries 6 receivers, 5 dress on game day, and every now and then you have a team that will carry 7 receivers. So for the purpose of this exercise, do you want to say the Chargers keep 6 or 7 receivers?
We go 6? Is that fine?
I'm going to go 6. I'm going to tell you why I think the Chargers keep 6, because I think they keep 3 tight ends. I think they keep Will Disley, Tyler Conklin, and then Aronde. And like I said last show, Aronde is kind of like a receiver himself because he can't block. So if the Chargers keep 6 receivers, who are they, Dave? Because I'm going to throw them out at you one more time. Which 6 make the team?
Oh, boy. Okay.
You got Ladd McConkey.
Made it.
Yeah. Ladd McConkey, QJ.
Made it.
Keandre Lambert-Smith, who people are high on, just drafted him. Okay. Mike Williams, Darius Davis, Des Fitzpatrick, Brendan Rice, Luke Grimm, undrafted, Trey Harris, Jalen Reagor, and Jalen Johnson.
It's tough. All right.
Well, I get the ones out of the way that
let's get the ones out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's cut, guys.
Who are your automatics?
Go slow. Go slow. I don't have it in front of me. Go slow.
It's on the rundown. It's on the rundown.
I know.
All right.
You're gonna make me put the
give you the ones
glasses on, aren't you?
Look, I'm gonna give you the ones I think are automatics. You tell me if you disagree, okay?
Okay.
I think these 5 guys are automatics. I think Ladd McConkey,
Yes.
QJ,
Yes.
Mike Williams,
Yes.
Trey Harris,
Yes.
and Keandre Lambert-Smith, the one they just drafted, are the automatics.
Okay.
So the guys that aren't automatics in my eyes are Darius Davis,
Gone.
Brendan Rice,
You shut your
Gone.
mouth.
Des Fitzpatrick,
Gone.
Okay.
Luke Grimm,
Gone. Okay.
Jalen Reagor, and Jalen Johnson.
I almost think Reagor makes it. Go ahead, Mario.
So I have a sub in that. I think Jalen makes it. I think Quinn Johnston's moved. That's my hot take kind of, I guess, going into the season is I don't think Quinn Johnston's going to start this year as a Los Angeles Charger. The reason I say that is because I look at the guys that we drafted in this past class, and we drafted 2 of his types. We drafted Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert-Smith. So if we have those 2 guys to do Quinn Johnson's role, and then we sign Mike Williams as well, that's 3 guys that he has to kind of beat out going into training camp. With the regime that didn't draft him after a season where he showed much improvement, but boy, did he still have a lot of drops and just kind of dumb plays. I don't know if he's in a Charger uniform come September. I think he's going to have to really work his way through camp. I think he's going to have a great preseason. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he's traded, Dave, in the mid-season to a team that's maybe needing a wide receiver. That's pretty wide receiver, light at the moment. Maybe New England gives that a call. I just think he's, really behind the 8 ball this summer, and he kind of knows it too. 3 guys that all kind of play his role. 3. That's not like a coincidence. Like, oh my God. Oh no. No, there's a reason why. You weren't getting the job done.
Dude, I think he's a Charger, and not because he's good. And you make a good argument back saying, look, these aren't the guys that chose him, so it's easy to throw them away. I just think they're gonna hang with them for 1 more year. If you did trade him, what would you expect back? A 7th round pick? What would you expect
Maybe
back?
6th or 7th.
You said maybe. Yeah, you make it sound like there's a chance for an 8. There's no chance for an 8th round pick.
A
but
prank
look,
call.
my point, because he passes the eyeball test until you throw him a ball, right? I mean, that's the issue. He's so frustrating to watch. The pick is so frustrating. Not even the fact where he's let the Chargers down. It's frustrating to see how many picks the Chargers have had to make up for the mistake of taking him in the first place.
Yeah, you think? The Chargers have 5 receivers on this roster that are 1st or 2nd round picks. That has to be like the most in the NFL, right? 5 guys that are 1st or 2nd round picks.
Yeah.
All of them have, to some degree, have underachieved. Besides, I mean, I can't say that. Mike Williams has been fine. Ladd has been better than expected.
Fantastic.
Trey Harris hasn't played yet. Jalen Reagor has been a disappointment. QJ has been a disappointment.
Yeah, Mike Williams has been a disappointment. Come on. Mike Williams has been a disappointment in his NFL career for what they thought they were getting when they drafted him. He has been. I mean, there's been times when Mike Williams shows that, hey, this guy's good. And then there's times Mike Williams is hurt in game 3 and we don't see him for a year. I mean, and then there's times he leaves for other teams. I mean, the Jets hate his guts. The Steelers hate his guts.
It's true. I'm not saying Mike Williams is a Hall of Famer. I'm just saying Mike Williams, when he plays, is better than QJ. Like, he is. Or he was.
That's a ridiculous argument.
That's not saying a lot, but Mike Williams, when he's in the game and he's not hurt, he's a threat. Like, when he's a Charger, he's a threat.
Catching the ball and he's healthy.
Who do you trust more, Mike Williams or Quinn Johnson?
At this point, Quinn and Johnston.
Oh wow.
At this point, I don't think Mike Williams is. I know he was with 2 teams that weren't great at passing the ball, but I just think he's older. And QJ is coming into his 3rd season. He was much better in his 2nd year than he was his 1st year. I trust QJ more right now,
dude. You guys brought up a kind of a good point. This is kind of really depressing at the same time. How many guys are in this goddamn locker room that didn't have the careers that were expected of them? I mean, going back to the quarterbacks, the way you just started. It's everybody gather around and talk about how you're a disappointment to everybody in your community from what everyone thought you were going to be.
It's just our quarter.
Trey, pull up a chair. Trey, pull up a chair. DJ, pull up a chair. Mike Williams, pull up a chair. Reagor, pull up a chair. All you guys, I want to talk to you because all of you guys have dramatically underachieved from everyone in college and high school thought you were going to be. There are people who used to brag about knowing you. Now there are people that say they deny ever meeting you. Now let's talk about this upcoming year and how we got to where we are today, guys.
Okay.
It's just our quarterbacks and our receivers that are disappointments. Come on.
Yeah, I
thank God Joey's not there. He could pull up a goddamn bench. Damn it. What are we doing? I thought we're talking culture. All of a sudden we got guys who are so damn depressing from underachieving. How about guys who overachieved? How about Denzel Perryman, who's 5'3", that's still in the league? You pull up a chair and tell him how you did it, Denzel.
Hell of a player.
He is.
One of my favorite Chargers.
Yeah.
Currently.
He's not 5'3", by the way, but you know what I mean.
All right. Let's get to it. Unless you guys have something else to add, let's get to the question here.
Okay.
All right. Comes from AK. AK's been angry lately. I don't know what's going on.
AK, we've been complimenting AK like crazy, and he made this mention in the song.
I don't think he's mad at us. I think he's mad at the other people in here.
That's fine, AK. I'm mad at everybody all the time anyway. Get used to it.
It's almost summer, aka Michigan's pretty in the summer.
Are you supposed to say that out loud? Does he want people
No,
to
it
know he
is. It
Does he
is.
want people to know he lives there? Give away his
Oh,
address too?
sorry.
It's all right. Probably doesn't care. All right, 999, AK in all caps says, I want to say this. I'm not going to apologize to anyone. I'm making my Chargers bold predictions, offense and defense. If you do not like it, do not come. Uncle Dave on my side. All I need, let's go. AK, you got to follow up with your prediction there, buddy.
Yeah, where's the
I
prediction
know.
part?
I'm so lost on that. I think that was just him ranting.
Maybe he's
well,
letting you know when he makes predictions, don't get on its bad side.
If you don't know, now you know.
All right, can we get to the Dave rant real quick?
Good stop.
Yeah, good stop.
Yeah, I got a few of them. All right. Number one, right before the show, I had to go give blood, go get a blood test, and I know it sucks. So I sit down, and I'm one of those guys. I don't like to look at needles. I don't like needles, but I'm not afraid of needles. I just don't want to see the needle go in my arm. So I literally just told the lady, "Hey, I'm not going to look. Are you okay with that?" She goes, "I'm fine with that." I go, "I'm not going to pass out. I'm not afraid of needles." I go, "I'm just don't want to see it and don't want to know when you're going to do it." She says, "Oh, no problem at all." So I'm looking over here to my right or wherever they on the camera, it's opposite, and I have my arm out, and she goes, 3, 2, 1, boom. She sticks it in. I go, "Do you just effing count backwards?" And she goes, "Oh, I did." I go, what did I just tell you 2 seconds ago? I don't want to know when you're going to stick the needle in my arm. Why would you count backwards? Yeah, maybe I should fix that. And I was like, "How long have you been doing this?" And she goes, "I'm so sorry." I just had a whole conversation. "I'm not going to look. Don't tell me when you're sticking the needle in. 3, 2, 1. Boom. She does it. What the hell's happening here? Is it that hard? Good
That was
God.
done me.
What the hell's going on?
What's
Hey,
the
look,
next rant?
here's my real rant. You ready?
Yeah.
Dude, everyone's so concerned about Bill Belichick. Everybody needs to calm the F down. Why is
Mario's
everyone
concerned.
what?
Mario's
I'm
concerned.
concerned.
Mario
I'm
is one of
concerned.
those people.
Okay, Mario, I'm going to
Get in.
explain to you something, okay? And you
Okay,
tell me,
I think we understand. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
you correct me after I'm going to say my piece.
Okay.
Because you got all these people concerned about Bill Belichick and this 24-year-old girlfriend and everything about her. And Charles Barkley, I don't know how Charles Barkley says, "Hey, I'm going to be the voice of reason. I know Bill Belichick. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to tell him how dangerous the situation is. And I'm going to talk to my friend Bill." There is nothing wrong with Bill. Bill is 72 years old. Do you know how good 24-year-old skin feels against your old ass? It feels great. Young skin is fantastic. And guess what? Bill Belichick is the guy winning. Go talk to her parents. She's the one that has the problem, okay? She has the problem. He doesn't have the problem. So overall, look, don't worry about Bill, guys. Worry about yourself. And how can you be Bill? That should be your major issue. How come I'm not Bill? That's what you guys need to be. Go ahead, Mario. Correct me.
Okay, so I actually do agree with your point when people are like, "What's wrong with Bill?" I always go to, I think it's more like what's wrong with the girl and why she wants a 70-year-old man and like what's like behind that. But I just don't understand. The thing that pisses me off to no end is the like, don't ask any questions about it. You know, like I don't want attention. Yeah, you do. That's why you post pictures with him. That's why you're around him at every second. That's why you do the things you do, is because you want people to know your name. You want people to know that you're dating Bill Belichick. And also, Bill, if you want to like be better with your PR, just be out in front of it. Yeah, I'm 70 years old. I am dating a 24-year-old that's younger than my kids. It is weird. But you know what? It's kind of nice. It's kind of fun. I'm having a good time. If you just said that and just did your Bill face, I guarantee you every reporter would go, "All right, this can't really say much of that." You know, it's the winningest coach in all of football. What am I going to say? That's the thing that bothered me. I'm like, dude, if you guys just got ahead of this, acknowledge the weirdness, you would be fine. But instead, you're doing all this weird crap. And it's just like, all right.
Dude, was she okay? Just all of a sudden, on the top of my head, was she born the same year that Brady won his first Super Bowl with the Patriots?
Oh,
Like that's a little crazy.
Like, probably, I want to say.
Yeah.
His girlfriend was older than the last girl I talked to, which is like a weird thing. She was,
Yeah.
and by the way, that's not weird for me. That's only 3 years, but that just put in perspective.
Dude, you know what's crazy? He's not even her parents' age. He's her grandparents' age.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Oh. What about the whole thing about her taking him out of the interview and she's like his handler? Isn't that kind of weird?
That's weird to me because it was CBS Morning. Like, it wasn't 60 Minutes or like, I don't even know who the hell's qualified at ESPN anymore to do that interview. But like, it's some type of intense journalist where it's going to be gotcha. Where like they're going to really try to get you. Like, that guy was just trying to, after this, he's going to do some story about a church saving like 8 kids from something. You know what I mean? Like, it's a feel good freaking show.
Yeah. How about when Bill said she's my handler and then winked right at the camera? That was weird.
That was
No, he
weird.
didn't do that. I'm just teasing.
No.
He did that.
Oh, if he did, I was about to say, how did that not make rounds?
It's like the line my dad always used to drop all the time. How did you two meet? I don't know. I opened my wallet and there she was. Okay. It's not your wallet. So don't worry about it, everybody. Bill's fine. Bill's fine. He's coaching football again. He's focused.
That's not even the most concerning thing about, like, I don't think it's concerning either. Who cares, right? I think the thing that's most concerning, he's about to break the record for most NFL wins as a head coach, and he goes to coach North Carolina football.
Yeah, that's
weird.
Him and Robert Kraft's relationship, that's gone. That's weird. Like, that's what I find fascinating. How Kraft says you're fired and he says no, I left. Like, that stuff I find interesting.
All right. Who are you more concerned about, Robert Kraft or Bill Belichick? I mean, Robert Kraft has some issues too.
Yeah, he had to pay for his.
Yeah, he was getting handies Miami.
Yeah, we don't know if Bill's, as far as we know, Bill's not. So,
I don't know what to say. I'm just saying, man, it got so many people concerned. I see people concerned about John Elway in the chat too. I mean, that's a terrible story.
And also, just to piggyback what you were talking about earlier, it kind of makes me laugh. Some some just personalities that speak on Bill and his wife, and then you're like, how old's your girlfriend? For sure she's about 10 to 15 younger than you, big dog. Like, it's not, I know it's not as big as the 50 years, but let's relax. We know your story as well, brother.
I'm looking at the chat here. By the way, it is it is interesting that when guys who are older always go young and girls always have to go up. Even if girls don't want to go up in age, they always seem like they have to go up in age.
It's a maturity thing, right?
I don't think it's a maturity thing. I think it's guys in their mind want to go young. The majority of them. I think guys want to go young.
Like, usually a woman that's way older wouldn't date a guy way younger just because, for lack of a better word, like, most of them are dipshits.
Yeah.
I don't think they're available.
You know what Bill should do? Dude, let's just, galaxy brain here, fellas. Let's freaking make some real moolah, all right? Call up Viagra and go, put me in the next commercial. And be like, are you 70 years old? Are you a multimillionaire? And you got a 24-year-old that wants you, but suddenly you can't get it up? Now I can with Viagra. And buddy, let me tell you something. I feel like it's 1964 all over again. I'm Bill Belichick. Go Tar Heels. And I'm having fun tonight.
Like it's 1964 all over again.
Dude, that's sales, baby. Let's make some freaking money. Come on. Talk to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock dated Ryan Gosling. It didn't work out. That's my point. It doesn't work.
Wait, who's Sandra's older in that situation, right?
Yeah, she's older.
Yeah, he's saying that Behannon's saying she went down in age.
Yeah, but then when you're a celebrity, I'm just saying when you're a celebrity, it's also different. I'm sorry, it's different when you're a celebrity. I'm talking when friends of mine who all of a sudden they're divorced and they got to start doing the dating thing. It seems like the girls are always forced to go 10 years older because the guys are always going at least 10 years younger.
What are you laughing about?
Mario?
Yeah, Mario's laughing.
There's a quote that popped in my head so my poppy was married like 3 or 4 times, and let's just say he subtracted 10 after everyone. Like, it was just younger and younger and younger. And he had like a good quote about that I can't say, if I just remembered it, that he told me. I hope to God, that's in my bloodline, fellas. So like if I hit 70 and I,
what?
like
Wait,
my
bloodline?
My poppy did that. Like when he died, his wife was like 40 and he was like 75.
Holy mackerel.
And I think his dad did the same. Basically all the Italians on my side were just a little scummy. And they liked him. Let's just say that. So that was just in my mind. Like, we should probably avoid that. Anyways.
There you go. All right, I gotta head out. I gotta catch a
All
plane. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, right?
All right.
Next time
All
we'll
right.
talk.
We'll be back next week. We'll figure out the show. Just plan on Tuesday, Thursday next week, 1:00. We'll actually let you know how it's going to go after the first show, but at least it will be Mario and myself here. Wish Josh the best on his honeymoon. And again, thank you so much for joining us on a Thursday afternoon. God, we started early today, so a lot of people are here. You guys played the game really well. Thank you so much. If you want to like and subscribe, appreciate that. And if you leave comments on YouTube, we'll get to those as well. But thank you guys so much. For Mario Heron, Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. We'll see you next week, everybody.